Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley if you are new here, and I'm a third year veterinary student at St. George's University. And in today's vlog, I am going to go over all of my experiences that I put on my veterinary application when I applied to vet school. If you do have any questions throughout this video, please let me know down in the comments, or you can reach out privately to me. I hope you do enjoy this video. If you do, please give it a like and subscribe for more. And if you do have any video requests about other areas of my application, definitely let me know down in the comments. First, I'm going to talk about my animal experience that I put on my application. So I actually worked at a boarding kennel for about 2.5 years during my undergrad breaks. And the boarding kennel was mainly for cats and dogs, but we occasionally did get rabbits, so I got a bit of experience with pocket pets as well. During my undergrad, I also chose to volunteer my time working at a stable where they would give riding lessons for disabled children. And I absolutely loved doing that. I was one of their sidewalkers, and I got to meet a lot of amazing people during this journey, and I absolutely loved it. I did this for about 3 years before COVID hit, and unfortunately when COVID happened, this program was canceled to keep everyone safe. At the University of Findlay, we were required to do barn duty with our large animals for a grade, so I did put that on my application as well because I got experience with feeding and handling cattle, goats, sheep, pigs, donkeys, llamas, and alpacas. So I did gain quite a bit of experience working with them, which I did put on my application. So for anyone that does go to certain schools that have teaching farms, you might want to put that experience on your application. My last animal experience that I put on my veterinary application was being a pet groomer. So basically in my job description, I was a pet bather. So I just bathed dogs all day. And then the groomers would take care of all the rest of the stuff. And I did that for about 2 summers. For my animal experience, I had a total of 1,700 hours. Next up, I'm going to talk a little bit about my extracurricular activities. I was involved in the Kiwanis Club in Indiana. After COVID hit, everything shut down, so I was at home not doing any more community service, so I decided to do something that my parents were doing. So I joined the Kiwanis Club that helped the children in the community. During undergrad, I also joined the Motorboard National Honor Society for a semester. I was supposed to be there for an entire year, but due to COVID, that didn't really happen. So I was in it for 1 semester. While at Findlay, I did have 3 officer positions at one point, which definitely was too many. For my first position, I was a treasurer for the diversity club on campus, and for Pre-Vet Club, I was their newsletter editor. I was also a leader of the Disability Club on campus. I was the public relations officer for about 2 years. During my undergrad, I also got into photography a lot, so I did end up putting that under extracurricular activities because some of the positions I took were paid, some were not paid, but still great experience, so I did end up putting that I was a photographer in this section. During my time in Europe, during my high school years, I did put that I was an officer of the Keystone Club, and I was actually the public affairs officer, so I was in charge of marketing and advertising the club. Also during high school, I was on the women's golf team. That makes up my extracurricular activities for the VMCAS section. I know it was probably quite a lot. For the extracurricular activities section, I had about 4,600 total hours. Next up, I wanted to talk about my employment that was non-animal related. I actually was recommended from a lot of previous applicants to get work experience not working with animals. And honestly, I feel like that probably helped me out a lot. So during a summer, I did work as a floral clerk at Kroger's, and it was actually just down the street from my house. But that job taught me so much about customer service and answering phones. So overall, it was a really good experience, but would I ever work in a floral department again? No, it definitely was not my thing. During undergrad, I also decided to work part-time as a student clerical assistant. The position that I got was really special. I still have no idea why I got this position, but I ended up working for the previous president of the university, and I was invited to a lot of different events that helped me network with a bunch of people, and it really got me to get out of my shell and talk with professionals. This was probably my most favorite job I've actually ever had because my boss was so good. I had close to 2,000 hours in the employment category. During undergrad, I did join a research team to look at the behaviors of zebrafish to see how we could figure out how they were able to regenerate their brains after an injury, because they have this very unique capability that they can regenerate almost any part of their body if it's been injured. So we were looking at how that actually worked and to see if we can apply it to humans with dementia or Alzheimer's. That was the end goal of the project. Unfortunately, we didn't really get to see the end of this project because our professor moved. So we didn't end up doing research for that long. In this category, I got around 145 research hours, which honestly, I would highly recommend doing a research position at some point. Next up is going over the veterinary experiences, which I'm sure you all have been waiting for this category because everyone wants to know how many veterinary hours I've gotten. At one of the clinics I worked at, it was a mixed animal practice, so I got experience with both large and small, and we also had a bunch of exotics that came into this clinic. There was only one animal that our veterinarian was not willing to work with, was mice and rats, but anything else he would take a look at. So we even had a duck at one point, we had a squirrel, we had a sugar glider, we had hedgehogs, chinchillas, we had a bunch of cool animals. I worked at this clinic for about a year. During undergrad, I did shadow an exotic veterinarian, so I have a little bit of experience with that. We mostly dealt with dogs and cats again, but we also did get the occasional bird, so that was pretty interesting to see. I did also work at just a small animal practice in Indiana, and I got quite a bit of experience dealing with some fractious patients that did not like being at the vet clinic, so I got a lot of experience with that. At the University of Findlay, you get to work on your veterinary-like skills because it is a pre-vet program. So actually during the first 3 weeks of starting, I was already castrating a piglet. So that counts as veterinary experience because we had a veterinarian watching over us the entire time. We also got experience with dehorning, hoof trimming, giving vaccinations, deworming. So we were doing quite a lot of experiences. We also performed physical exams. There was a lot of work to do with the pre-vet program at Findlay. We were doing veterinary experience on horses too, with the supervision of a veterinarian, so I did count that as a veterinary experience. For my first veterinary experience, I worked at Veterinary Medical Center Europe, which is on a military base in Germany. So I got to work with a lot of military dogs and civilian animals. I got to see some very unique surgeries done, such as amputations and the routine surgeries as well, like spay and neuter. So that was honestly one of my best veterinary experiences I've ever gotten, was working at that hospital. I had about 2,000 hours for veterinary experience. So it wasn't a ton, but definitely was more than the minimum requirement. And I got a wide variety of veterinary experiences I put on my application, and I know a lot of vet schools are looking for a wide variety. For the volunteer non-animal related experiences, I did put quite a few positions on this because I did a lot of community service when I was at Findlay. I was involved in a lot of diverse things on campus, so I did a lot of diversity events, such as the International Coffee and Tea Tasting, or National Night. I was also a service ambassador, where I got to go to one of the nursing homes in Findlay to play bingo with the residents to help them feel a little bit better and that they could talk to other people besides their neighbors. I also volunteered at the Findlay Hope House, and honestly that was such a great experience. I really enjoyed being there and working with the organization. I also did volunteer with the American Red Cross Society. Since I couldn't donate blood myself, I decided to volunteer in different ways, by checking in people or by providing snacks, talking about the event to get people to donate blood. I also did a lot of events with a blind organization, so they would actually train service dogs for blind people for free. They would give them a dog that was already certified for taking care of someone who is blind. So we did a lot of events with that and fundraisers to help offset the costs. Every semester I would also join the mobile food pantry. Every term we would put together a food pantry where the homeless could come and get free food and meals. I tried to do that as often as I could. I also helped out at the Mazda Museum on the Fun Day Sundays. Once a month, they would organize an event on Sundays for the children and community to come in and just have some fun at the museum on campus. So I was just there to help out wherever I could. For the volunteer experience, I had 155 hours. So that was all of my different types of experiences that I put on my veterinary application. I do hope this helped a little bit. The vet schools mainly just want to see that you are more than just doing this for animals. They want to see you working with people. That is a huge part of our job and always will be. And definitely don't just do one type of veterinary experience. Try to do a wide variety of experiences. If you want to know what type of conferences and honors I put on my application, you can definitely let me know down below, because I did quite a lot of stuff like that too. But in today's video, I just wanted to cover what type of experiences I put on my application, because I feel like this deserved a video by itself, because I know how long this can be. This probably was the most stressful part of putting my veterinary application together, because I had so many different types of experiences. If you do have any questions or just wanting some advice on what to put on your veterinary application that you don't think should go on there, just let me know. You can always contact me. My email is always available, and you can message me privately on Instagram or just comment down below that you would like to talk. Good luck to everyone doing their applications soon. I know it's coming up very fast that the new cycle is opening, so I wish you the best of luck. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you next time.